ODOT says it's going to start laying off people this week to make up a budget gap after lawmakers couldn't reach a deal on Friday. Thanks for choosing NBC5 News at 5. I'm Craig Smullen. Oregon's 2025 legislative session came to a close on Friday night with the legislature failing to pass one of its loftiest goals, a transportation bill worth more than $11 billion. Now we're starting to see the fallout. That's our top story tonight at 5. A bill was pushed by Democrats to shore up funding at ODOT and other agencies. It laid out a plan to raise money through things like a gas tax hike and a new pay-per-mile tax system for electric vehicles. Republicans pushed back on the bill, calling it the biggest tax hike in state history.
The fact of the matter is we need more time. We need more time. We need more eyes. We need more input. I think you're going to get hard-pressed for Republicans to vote for any major tax increases, right? But if you can find something that makes sense, I think you'll get more of us that would be willing to say yes, of course, with some major accountability in there.
Republicans say they made several attempts to negotiate a balanced budget for ODOT, but say Democrats rebuffed the ideas. They say negotiations were more challenging because the transportation bill wasn't unveiled until a few weeks ago, though Democrats, including Oregon Governor Tina Kotek, argue it's just not that simple. In a press conference over the weekend, Kotek hinted at changing the state's 8-year approach to its transportation packages.
I have workers, 600 to 700 workers in the Oregon Department of Transportation who are now facing layoffs. Because for whatever reason, people couldn't come together as Oregonians to fund that. And I will put that at the feet of the folks who could have made that happen. And that is the Republican leadership who could have said, yes, we'll suspend the rules so you can get to that bill. And they did not.
The governor says this session was a challenging one. Now, of course, this has big repercussions for ODOT. In a statement, ODOT says in part, quote, state law prevents the agency from using project or transit money to pay for maintenance or agency operations. And the only way to solve this problem is for additional funding to be dedicated or greater flexibility for ODOT to determine how funds are spent. Meanwhile, the agency's statement goes on to say, quote, this week ODOT will begin the layoff process. By the end of July, hundreds of positions will no longer be at ODOT. As a result, ODOT says these cuts will have a deep impact on Oregon's transportation system, Oregon travelers, and the operational health of the agency. ODOT says it'll do everything it can to keep its resources in place to keep Oregonians safe.